Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy, Green Pastures Farm. Today, I'm out exploring what's in front of the cows. We're going to be here in another 7 days, and it's going to be just about right. We've already got fescue and orchard grass in here. Some of this is around the 8 to 9 inch level, so we're going to be probably pushing 10 or 11 inches of grass when we get on this particular paddock. This was last grazed in the winter. You can see the little strips of hay, the light color out there. We would have been here in January. So we unrolled, I think we had about 18 bales, something like that on this. There's about 30 acres of grass on this farm. The rest is all timber and civil pasture that we've created. We've had some pretty good windstorms. You can see we got a little work to do up here. There's a old black locust tree. They gave up the ghost and blew over. Wild plum right there. And down there is a mulberry, which I'm gonna definitely cut that one up because there is one heck of a corner post there. I rank mulberry number 2. Hedge tree, some people call it Osage orange, other people call it Bodark down in Texas. This tree right here, man, that's gonna make a beautiful corner post. I might get 2 out of that. Anyway, that's mulberry. So you'd want to cut it off right there where that bad spot is. And there's a really nice corner post. A mulberry, the wood on it is yellow, which is the same color as hedge. It's anti-rot. Nothing will eat it. Bugs don't bother it. You can put it 4 foot in the ground, come back 50 years later, pull it out, and that darn thing is in pristine shape. Not the same shape it was when you put it in there half a century earlier. They're unbelievable. They're darn close to hedge. I don't go in and cut mulberries because I like the trees. But one like that that's blown over, I'll get it. Clean that up, and the landowners like it a little better. And it'll give them some wood. They come out here and camp. I'll have them a little rick of wood there. They can start a fire. Where I'm going back here, folks, this is the back of the farm where Johnny took a little mud hole. I'm talking mud hole. This thing wouldn't even hold any water in the spring. And it was full of junk and old trees and just scrappy stuff. And we came in here in December. As you can tell, it was late because there's hardly any grass growing on that dam. But you know, I can see just a little bit of green on that. That thing's filled up. That's unbelievable. That pond's full. I can tell you it's full because it's went out the spillway. You can see the hay's been moved by water. See, when a pond first fills up, you can see it's receded about 3 inches. Well, that's because there's never been any water on all that new dirt. So it's going to soak some of that up. But Johnny did an astronomical job. That's just a beautiful pond. He built that in 1 day. It's got about 8 feet of water in the bottom of it. And this is one that I am going to put a rock skirt on. I'm going to keep it away from the spillway. For sure, keep it off that dam. I'm thinking probably right over there on that corner. This is awful steep going down to a skirt. But we'll figure it out. I'm not going to let the cattle in that pond, I can tell you that. And I don't want them on this steep bank right here. So it's probably going to go right over there in that corner. That's our least angle that we have for cattle to drink. And then we'll put a permanent skirt on it and it'll be electrified. And we've got a beautiful water site on the back of this farm. I want to see a little closer if I see any green coming up in here. Oh yeah. Yep, there's fescue. There it is. Probably didn't even show up on this camera. on this video, but it's there, it's coming. Folks, there's another better clump of it right there. Fescue is a really, really wimpy grass when it first starts going. Coming up. But boy, once it gets started and gets its roots in, you can't get rid of it. Ask anybody that has flowers. My mom was a big flower lady, and she was always out there before it got hot out in the summer. She was out there in her garden, her flower garden, pulling fescue. She had her little spade, and she was trying to dig that stuff up. She always said fescue had roots that went to China. I think she might have been right. Mom loved her flowers. That was quite a deal getting this dug out. I mean, we didn't have anything here. There wasn't any grass growing in it because it was just a bog. The dam, well, you couldn't hardly see there was even a pond here. There was, it's just a tiny little thing. Made a good water hole. I'm excited about this. So what that does is it gives us this whole back of the farm now with a water hole. And the landowners, I'm gonna drop a couple cedar trees in there for fish cover, and we'll get some fish in there. And we did 2 of these, one on each end of the farm. And then they've got the old pond that's already stocked over the hill here. And so we've got 3 water points now. And it didn't cost, it didn't break the bank to do it. I've got a 10-year lease on this farm, or I wouldn't have done it. But yeah, this is awesome. We leased this draw right here in front of us. I wish I'd have taken a picture or video of it. That was 100% eastern red cedar. That whole valley. Matter of fact, the trees that I'm milling right now over on the sawmill, most of them came out of that valley right there. I mean, these trees were, well, you can see the stumps. Well, maybe you can't. I can see one from here. It looks like it's 2 foot across. I'll go show you how big these stumps were, but there wasn't any grass in here, none. And we're starting our 4th year, we got grass. Still got some sprouts in here. Sprouts don't give up very easily. They always come back for a while. You just got to keep on them. Oh, here's a big old cedar stump right here. That one's going to be rotted out pretty quick. Here's a bigger one over here. You just got to watch these when you're brush hogging. I kind of know where they're at. Well, this one's tall enough you can see it. But that one right there, I could come in here with a really sharp chain on a saw, and I could probably knock that down another 3 inches. And at the time I'm doing that, I'm going to nail that little dude right there, because that big tree left a baby, and here he comes. But I like this farm. It fastens on to, well, we got 1, 2, 3. We've got farms on 3 sides of it. So we've kind of got it sandwiched in. And we were able to hook onto our existing power source. We didn't have to go buy a charger. We didn't have to set electric meter. Of course, there is no pressurized water on this farm. That's why I was anxious to get some ponds built. And we had that pond right there. And we're looking real hard at putting a rock skirt on that one. I just want to talk to the landowner first to make sure they're good with it and where we're going to put it. That pond is just a beautiful pond. It's got some wonderful fishing in it. The landowner enjoys doing that. So that's cool. You like to have things on the farm that the landowners can come out and enjoy. Because if a landowner enjoys his property, it coming out, getting out of the city and such, they're not as anxious to sell it. So, yeah, here I am walking along. Look at that. That's an old piece of foam. Pick that dude up. I just hate any kind of trash on our farms. If I see it, I'm going to get it. I want it to look like a park. It looks like a park, and it's pretty. That's keeps your landowners satisfied that you're looking out for their property, making it look nice. And I still say, when you're in the land leasing business, you're in the land beautification business. And I see one more little clump of stuff up here. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it's another piece of foam. I'm gonna get this too. This stuff is, it doesn't break down. It's got that aluminum. Yeah, you don't want that laying out on your land. It'll end up down there in that pond. And then it just floats around that pond for the next 20 years. Anyway, it's a beautiful day here in early April, and it's just a wonderful day to be a grazer out on the land and inventorying where the cattle are going to be coming to, knowing that when they get here, they're going to be a happy group of animals. There's a lot of feed in here. And not only is there a lot of feed, there's a lot of organic matter left from winter stockpile right there. So when those cows reaching to get that green, they're going to get some of that dry matter. It's just like giving them a little flake of hay with their green. And so you get a lot better performance. Oops, a lot better. I can't even find a manure pile in here. Folks, we had 379 head on here for a couple days, and I can't find a manure pile. There's another piece of that darn foam. Get that picked up. Where are all the manure piles? There's one. It's almost gone. Oh yeah. There's the worms. They're in here. Oh man, yeah, they're in here. Every little sprinkle you pull up, I'm gonna put them back. Yeah. So why are all the manure pads gone? Well, I can tell you why they're gone. It's because of all this feed we left. And see, they're already working on this hay spot right here too. This is a clump of hay. I'm gonna spread this out a little bit. See how it left that yellow under there? Well, that hay was a little bit too thick right there. I just take my foot, do that. Now that grass will come up through there. Get all my trash. So it's coming. This farm's coming, and we're getting closer and closer to where we want it to be. This was all broom sedge, this whole farm, and it got hayed in the past a couple times, and then of course it was continuously grazed. Part of it was. The rest of it didn't have any animals on it. Didn't have fence. So we took care of the fence. We put new fence around it. And we've got ample water, and we're getting this. So this is what it's about, folks. You've got to get the fence up. Forget about building barns. Forget about owning all the equipment. Get your fence up. Number one, get your fence up. Then work on a water source. And don't bankrupt yourself starting out with water. Try and get water placed in the center of your farm if you don't have a lot of disposable income, and then go from there. So, we had this farm for 3 years. We had one pond on it. Well, now we've got 3. But the cattle paid for it. Let the grass feed the cows. Let the cows feed your investment into how you want to get this place developed. Don't go to the bank and get a loan if you don't have to. Now, I know starting out you may have to get some kind of operating loan, but at the end of the day, your sole goal should be to get that interest loan gone. You don't want to be paying interest. It will get you. For the rest of your life, you're paying somebody else to use their money when you could be using your own. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. It's a beautiful day. Y'all hit that subscribe button on the way out, and hit that little bell beside the subscribe button, and you'll get a notice when I drop an email. I'm sorry, a video into your email box. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you down the road.